Actually, I just wanted to ask how long this session will continue.
Today it will be for 1 hour. Okay. From next week onwards, it will be Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours. Because today is the first session, and we'll bring it for another. From next week
Okay.
it will be 2 hours Saturday and Sunday 2 hours. Okay. Saturday we will start at 9 o'clock. Okay, 9 to 11 India time. Ahmad, I will tell you in the US converted time for you. Okay, and Sunday we will start from 9:30 to 11:30. Fine.
Okay, that is fine. Yeah. So,
Muktesh.
Naveen, I can tell you about
Thank you.
myself
Hmm.
that I am basically my background is for SAP FICO.
Okay.
I have done 4 years of experience in SAP, but overall 10 years of experience.
So to brief about myself, I'm having around 11 years into SAP FICO. I did a couple of implementation, support, and upgradation projects. I've done implementations in S4 HANA, migrations in S4 HANA. I'm a corporate trainer for SAP India, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, US on the S4 HANA. So, and I do online batches also. So I've done a lot of online batches, more than 60, 70 online batches I've done. So, and I've started my career with S4HANA from the first release 15 to till now. So that's all about. Chandan, Zavid, Mohit, Mukta. Fine. So I'll be starting the first session with the introduction to S4 HANA. So I've briefly told about this S4 HANA introduction on my demo sessions, and the Mukta who has attended the demo session, but I'll be briefing out in detail now how S4 HANA, why HANA came to the market and all in detail. Say, as we all started our career, we would have started like 10 years before we started, would have started with 4.6C, and then we would have updated it to 4.7, then ECC 5.0, ECC 6.0. So when SAP is giving every releases, it used to do the functional updates and technical changes on every level of releases. So with introduction of ECC 6.0, you all know that a concept called a new GL introduced by SAP, which contains a ledger reporting, online document splitting, segment reporting, COFI online reconciliations. All these functionalities have been given with ECC 6.0, which reduces a lot of month-end activities for the business. People who directly implement SAP, they directly go to a new GL implementation. People who are already with 4.7 or 5.0, we call that as a classic GL. Later, they used to upgrade it to new GL once they did the technical upgradation to ECC 6.0. So after say ECC 6.0, SAP has thought what should be my next release to the market. When it has see the market trend, there is a lot of usage of smartphones with the smart applications. As it has used lot of smart in the market, lot of smartphones are being used, and every applications have been consolidated into the mobile applications, and people start using the mobile apps more. SAP has thought that my applications also should run on the mobile side. And there is a drastic change in the hardware component also, in the innovation of hardware component also. The SAP, which is presently with when ECC 6.0, the design was done on traditional RDBMS concept. So what SAP has started to make my application to run faster, I have to change my database architecture. Any application to run faster, it should have the software component, application component should be fast along with the database architecture. The architecture which was designed from 4.6 to 4.7 based on the RDBMS concept was a traditional concept by the time of 2008 and 9. So what SAP has thought, let me change my architectural design itself. When we think of architectural design, it is a database design comes. Presently, SAP is working with Oracle, SQL, mainframes, databases. Those are all external vendors where it has to depend on them for any database architectural modeling. So what SAP has thought, instead of developing in 3 different vendors, I will develop my own database to the market for my SAP application. That is where HANA database introduced to the market by SAP in 2011. Once a database came to the market in 2011, in 2012, SAP has done a database migration to the BW application. Database migration is plug out the Oracle database which has been attached to the BW application and then plug in the HANA database. This is purely a technical project where by using software update manager tool, a basis consultant will do the database migration. That means from Oracle database to the HANA database migration will be happened in 2012 from SAP side. Any doubt till here?
No.
Fine.
No.
Okay, fine. So in 2013, SAP has done a database migration to the HANA to the my ERP application. Say the ERP application database is called as OLTP. OLTP database, Online Transaction Processing Database. Whereas BW application we call it as OLAP, Online Analytical Processing. OLAP, Online Transaction Processing, Online Analytical Processing. That means as BW does the reporting, it is the database connected to that is called OLAP, Online Analytical Processing. The database connected to ERP application, because we do transactions and the transactions get updated in database, we call it as OLTP database. Every month end or fortnight, we used to do a data migration from my ERP application to the BW application to do reporting in BW application. That is every fortnight or every month end, we do extraction of activities. We maintain two separate databases, one for ERP, one for BW, presently in Oracle. With the introduction of HANA database, what is the main advantages is you will have one database. You will have one database, that is your HANA database, with act as a OLTP as well as OLAP. That means you don't need to have a separate database for ERP as well as BW. On one database, both your ERP application as well as BW application will be placed, so that extractions are not required. BW reporting can be done at any point of time. Maintenance of databases is reduced. This is the first major advantages of having HANA database to the business in 2013. Any doubt in this?
One question, Naveen. So that means now BW and the ECC database, those are the real-time updated, right, in 2013?
No, it is one database now. It is one database where both applications are point to the same database.
Okay, so these are the same database BW is also using and the ECC tables they are also using.
Yes, right? Same databases. Instead of two separate databases, now with HANA database work both as OLTP as OLAP. Okay, whereas Oracle database, either you can set it as OLTP database or OLAP database. HANA database can be set both as OLTP as well as OLAP database. Fine?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine, thank you.
Any other doubt? Salim, Rati, Mohit, Zavid, Chandan, Ahmad?
No doubt yet.
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
So, Naveen, I just joined now. So, I think the last part I heard that was. So, I think it's fine. I can just check it out later with you. You want to explain on 2011 and 2012.
2011 by HANA database came to the market. In 2012, it has first done database migration to BW, and in 2013, it has done database migration to ERP application. So with that, our major advantages is you can have one database which connect ERP as well as BW, whereas in Oracle, we had a separate databases for ERP, separate database for BW, where we call it as OLTP database and OLAP database, Online Transaction Processing, Online Analytical Processing. With HANA database, you can have one database which act as both OLTP and OLAP. Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, thank you.
In 2014, we add an after coming to the HANA database, SAP as think what should I do for my next functional releases. When it has think on the functional releases, it always first concentrate on the FICO module, which is a core module. That is where in 2014 it has given a first add-on called Simple Finance Add-on 1.0, which was a really a very baby product to the market. Okay, people would not have adapted, but it is just as a release it has been given. From 2015 onwards, it started giving the releases with quarterly releases and yearly releases. Yearly releases on-premise edition, quarterly releases for cloud purpose. So first on-premises edition given called as 1503. 1503 means 2015 March, which is purely for Simple Finance. In 2015, it has given first release 1503, which is purely for Simple Finance. That means the financial changes. When you say financial changes, what SAP has thought? It has thought one is functionality changes to make the performance of the application faster, and one the table level changes. Once you say the table level changes, earlier as per the RDBMS concept, we had a restriction to put the number of columns in a single table. So when we have more data, we used to split it into number of tables by connecting with primary keys. Right, like for us in accounting, we have BKPF and BSEG as a main table. Along with that, we add BSIS, BSIK, BSID, BSAD, BSAK, BSAS, and assets ANLEA. These are all the many line item table based on customer, vendor, GL, assets. The respective line items used to get updated based on the transaction posted. So these many the data are getting scattered in a number of tables. Okay. So what SAP has thought, that was based on RDBMS concept I have designed. With the new architectural design, I don't require these many indices table. BKPF and BSEG is not been removed. It will still remain as it is. Whereas this indices tables, whatever we say, customer line item tables, vendor line item table, GL line item, asset line item, all these tables have been removed and converted as a views in S4HANA. What is views? View is if you have written a query, see I have removed the table BSIS, but you have written some Z program where you say select star from BSIS. As it is removed as a table and converted as a view, still you can get the data because this BSIS will redirect to my new table AC Docker, which is one table. We call it as single source of truth, or we call it as universal journal table. So when I pass any query to this table, it will redirect that to AC Docker table and get you the data. If I pass to BSIK, as it is converted as a views, it will redirect to AC Docker and get you the report. But you cannot insert any data to views because views will not hold the data. It will just redirect to the AC Docker and get you the data. But if you are inserting to BSIS in any of the program, you have to change that to AC Docker during our migration project. We will discuss that later in detail. So the one is the indices tables have been removed and SAP has created a new table called AC Docker table, which is universal journal or single source of truth. During our migration from ECC to S4HANA, okay, the data will get migrated to AC Docker table. That we will be discussing in detail in our sessions. Along with this line item table, the next part is the total table. The total table is Pagel, FlexT, if it is if it is new GL, GLT0 if it is classic GL. So the total tables also have been removed. See the total table, every time whenever you do any transactions, it has to go and update this table because it is the total tables. And again, whenever you ask for the total, it has to retrieve. It has to have a mini line of codes to do that. And it will require a table space to save that particular data. Instead of that, the totals will be calculated on fly from AC Docker table whenever you go for a total report, which perform faster than saving the table data in the table and getting it. So the total tables also have been removed in S4 HANA. Clear? So what are the tables removed? We will be going to discuss in detail in our session. Okay. So add-on 1.0 2014 add-on when it came. Any doubt?
Naveen, yeah, I have one question. Go to the slide you are talking about, which you are writing.
Tell me.
So you mean this BSIS, BSIK, all these tables have been removed in the S4 HANA, and instead of that we have HCDOCA one table.
Yes.
So what does it mean? These tables absolutely obsolete in S4 HANA, or these are available in S4 HANA, but you can retrieve your data by running HCDOCA table.
No, these tables have been removed. They have, this table doesn't exist in S4 HANA. It has been converted as a view. Why it has been converted as a view? The existing program, you would have written a lot of these programs. Okay, if I completely remove them, okay, the query passing to this will not work because it has been removed. As it is converted as a view, it will redirect. When you pass any query to this table, it will redirect to AC Docker views and get you the data, whatever you require.
Okay, so like existing program will not impact it.
Existing programs will not have an impact on any report. If you are inserting the data, then it will have an impact. If you are inserting data, then you have to change it to AC Docker because views will not hold the data.
So here I am referring, like G report and all. So G enhancement, where we have to use these tables, right? BSIS, BSIK and all.
That is what
there would be no impact.
No impact because it will get you the data still as it redirect to AC Docker and get you the data.
Okay, it's a big relief then. Okay.
Fine.
Yes, go ahead.
Naveen, this tables BSIK, and even this I want to ask this AFA, GL, LFlex and GLT, the new GL table and the classic table, even they have been removed, means they are still in the view status, or how's it like? Because you're saying BSIS, BSIK, we can view it still, right? And what about this tables, GLTO and flex?
These are tables you can view it, okay, but these are not the tables. These are all called as views.
Okay.
These are all views.
No, views means you're saying like if I go to AC16N, I can put this table number and I can just execute. Still, I'll be able to see the transactions. Yes. I'll be able to see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I want to create any Z program or if I want to refer something, data, I won't be able to use this, right? You're saying
data. No, if you are creating new program, you will be directly writing it on AC Docker.
Okay, not on this tables. Okay.
No.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Naveen, I got disconnected because of the internet issues. Just joined back.
Okay, fine, no issues. So in the Simple Finance add-on 1.0 came, few of the tables have been removed, and in 2015, 1503, the rest of the tables have been removed. Okay. So after 15003, the next releases, whatever SAP has given, has not removed any of the tables. Okay. 1503 is where it has like 2014 add-on 1.0 removed few tables, and 1503 released few more tables. After that, the releases what came, I have not removed any tables. There are only functional updates. So after that, we add a release called 1511, which is called a simple logistics. We call it as simple logistics. That is, we call it as S4 simple logistics application, which will contain FICO as well as MMSD module changes. In 2016, it has given the next release 1605, which is an update of 1503 on Simple Finance. And then 1610, which is an update on 1511 called Simple Logistics. From last year, 2017 onwards, it has stopped giving Simple Finance releases separately. It will give only one releases in a year, which was given recent releases 1709, which is simple. We call it as S4 HANA Enterprise Management. S4 HANA Enterprise Management. See, if any person go for any implementations, SAP give a product called S4 HANA Enterprise Management, which contains FICO, SD, and PP, which is on S4 HANA logistics changes. That means FICO, SD, PP, all S4 HANA changes will be included there. And if you go for migration also, we have to use the same product. There is no separate product for Simple Finance only. Earlier it used to give, because people who doesn't use and SD and PP, they can just go and migrate the Simple Finance part only. So from 17 onwards, 2017 onwards, it has stopped giving like that. Clear?
So what about others, like module?
Other, come again? What about?
Like, there are, several other module also, right? Apart from FISDMM, PP.
For HR, we have SAP HCM has been completely removed. Okay, and SAP says to use now Field Glass or Success Factor, which is SAP acquired product. Okay, Success Factor or Field Glass, SAP HCM will not be used further. And again, based on your business, for your expense management, you can use SAP Concur. That and all we call it as LOBs, line of business. Okay, Concur you can use. Okay, if you are using a Concur for your travel expense management, you can have a Concur. And again, based on your industry solution, that what kind of industry you are into. If you are in the industry of like a Flipkart or Amazon, where you do the shopping site, okay, for that SAP is having SAP Ariba, Ibris, like this. The products have been given by SAP, and it will suggest based on your business.
So basically, fund management, treasury, and FSCM. Basically, I am referring. There are several other modules related to finance itself, like project system. So like interrelated.
See, treasury. If you wanted to use treasury, you have to pay separate licenses. You'll get the treasury. In the treasury, SAP is having an update on cash and liquidity management. Okay, and S4. Okay, that is a separate. Okay, and then project system. If you wanted to use, you can use it with the same license of FICO license. Okay, with MMSD license.
So for those modules, there are no table changes, right?
There is no table changes for PS module. There is no TRM, treasury management, treasury, core treasury. There is no changes. In cash and liquidity, there is a changes.
Okay, so like with this S4 HANA, we can use those modules also.
With S4 HANA, yeah, you have to pay separate licenses for it.
Okay.
And Naveen, just
so like there is no integration impacted, right?
Come again?
There would be no impact on integration between FI Treasury, FI PS.
No.
Okay.
So Naveen, just reconfirming this. In 1511, they came with Simple Logistic. From 1605, then Simple Finance came into picture.
No,
1610 again they came into
1503 is also Simple Finance. Simple Finance 1605 is an update of 1503.
Okay. And I mean to say you're saying from 2017, that is the latest version. 1709, they have come up with everything, Finance, SD, everything, right?
That is nothing but Simple Logistics. That is nothing but Simple Logistics. From 2017 onwards, SAP give only one product in a year called simple logistics changes, that is called S4 HANA Enterprise Management, which include FICO, SD, and PP. In 2016 and all, it used to give separate release for Simple Finance along with Simple Logistics separately it used to give. From 2017 onwards,
Okay.
it gives only one product release, yearly one release only it will come for on-premises.
Okay.
For cloud, there will be a quarterly releases.
Okay. Because I just got confused. Was 1605 Simple Finance is there, then 1610 Simple Logistic means I thought only Logistic came into picture, but from 17 we got out. But now it's confirmed that Simple Logistic means it includes even the SD and FI part also.
FICO changes, 1605 changes plus SDMM changes, both will be included. Simple logistics means default understood that FICO changes is included in it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So we used to call Simple Finance word, okay, earlier in 2015. Okay, from 2016 onwards, SAP has given a term called S4 HANA Finance. We should not use the term Simple Finance. S4 HANA Finance. S means simplicity. 4 means fourth generation. That means R3 was the earlier number given. So fourth. Then S4 HANA Finance. Financial module changes is finance. S4 HANA Logistics means MMSD PP changes. That is the term now we have to use for our this one. Clear? This is the key milestones of HANA starting from 2011 till 2017. Now, if you wanted to go for HANA, what should be the base for you? You should be first go to database migration to HANA. Many of the projects have done HANA database migration, but they have not started using any of the S4 HANA functionalities of module changes. That means they just migrated from Oracle database to HANA database. When you just migrated from Oracle database to HANA database, there is no table changes. All your table existing in Oracle database on ECC will remain continue in your S4 HANA database, sorry, in your HANA database also. When you go for the functional project of data migration, then the tables removal, AC Docker table creation will going to happen. The first project which you are going to start is a database migration, which is completely a technical basis project. They migrate to HANA database. As a functional consultant, I will be testing the scenarios that all scenarios works fine in HANA database, as we were doing earlier technical upgradation. So earlier technical upgradation project, what is our role? When we move from 5.0 to 6.0, or if you do EHP updates, our job is to test all functionalities are working fine. The same way, when database migration happens, our job is also to do a database migration check. Whether all transactions are working fine or not. Clear?
So here, Navin, when we are doing database migration, that means there will be no table changes. The Oracle tables will work, right?
Come again?
What I mean to say that when we are doing database migration, 1 minute please, no?
There is a lot of background noise from your side.
Yeah, sorry, Naveen. Yeah, so I was asking that when there is a database migration, that means here we are just migrating Oracle to HANA and we are not creating AC Docker table in
That is
HANA,
not,
right?
no, that is you are not creating, when you do a data migration project, that is a second project which is going to come. In that system automatically creates, there is a software given by SAP which you install that, like 1605, 1610, or presently if you do 1709 release which SAP gives, when you install that add-on, automatically AC Docker will get created. All tables are getting converted into view. All will happen automatically. We don't need to do anything. That is when you start your S4 HANA migration project, a functional project with FICO consultant does. Okay, in that time those changes will happen. Now you are just doing a database migration to HANA. There is no changes in the table. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So to do database migration, you should be in EHP 7. You should be in EHP 7 to do a database migration to HANA. If you are not in EHP 7, you have to update to EHP 7 and do database migration. To use 1503, 1511, EHP 7 would be sufficient. To use 1605 release onwards, we should be in EHP 8. In that case, you have to go to EHP 8 database migration and then plan for your data migration. Otherwise, EHP 7 database migration, then when you plan for your add-on implementation, then you go for the necessary EHP update and do the S4HANA migration project. So if you are in any DB, first the basis come to HANA database and then plan for a data migration. When you say data migration, SAP has given us steps to execute where data migration will happen in the backend to AC Docker table. So that is we are going to discuss in detail how data migration projects will going to run in real time. So people's presently, if you are going for any S4 HANA projects, you will not go and use 1503 or 1511 or 1603 or 1605. Sorry, 1605 or 1610. You will go and use 1709. Okay, people already started implementation on the way. They will be doing in 1610. Okay, otherwise you will be in 1709 now. If you are starting a fresh projects, you will be start using the 1709. That is how the people will be start using. In our session, we will be understanding what was 1503, 1511, 1605, 1610. So if you work on any releases, because few projects went from 1503 the live. Okay, if you go for any project, you should be comfortable enough to work on that. So we'll be understanding changes on every releases of S4 HANA in our session. Clear?
Naveen, can you just repeat this EHP 7 and 8 you're saying, right? So 7 is needed till what in our version?
EHP 7 is needed to do your database migration and 1503 and 1511 supports EHP 7. Okay. 2016 onward 1503, 1511. 2016 release 1605 and 1610 will not be supported by EHP 7. You have to update to EHP 8 to use 1605 and 1610. If you just do a database migration now, you can go to EHP 7 and do database migration now. But later down the line 6 months or 10 months later, if you wanted to go for any of the 1709 or 2018 release, during that time, a comfortable EHP update will be happened and then you will go to that particular release. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
SAP has given a deadline by 2025, all its customer has to be in HANA database. It is not that you have to use 1605 or 1709. You should be in HANA database because the 40% of the revenue what SAP is getting will be given for the databases vendors. So it has to avoid that. So for that purpose, we are doing SAP is doing to all its customers to go for HANA database by 2025. Clear? Any doubt in this? Javed, Mohit, Mukta, Rati, Salim, Chandan, Ahmad.
Yes,
No,
but to understand
Nothing from us, Naveen.
prerequisites
Yeah.
before going to any particular version of HANA actually. So yeah, at a high level, I can say that yes, I understood, but yes, we need a more detail.
Yeah.
If version wise, you can explain that what is the prerequisites if we are on the certain version of SAP ECC right now, and we want to go for the S4 HANA. So what are the upgrades, pre-upgrades we have to do in our SAP system
First is EHP level you have to check. Okay, if your EHP level is less than 7.0, you have to do EHP update plus database migration to HANA. Okay. And again, it depends on your project, like whether you go for, as I said, many people have went for just a database migration in 2015, 16 and all, but they have not started using any of the S4 HANA application, any of the S4 HANA transactions. Like that it will be.
Okay.
Okay. Now you will have two databases, that is OLTP database and OLAP database. As I said, you will have, which is you are seeing in the first screen is the OLTP database, and then OLTP database and OLAP database. Okay. Now with going for onward, okay, with the new databases of HANA database, where you will have both OLTP and OLAP, which will be on the same database with SAP HANA. Clear? Now, and with HANA database, we have seen in the many of the comments that HANA saves data in columnar based. What is a row based and a columnar based? The presently Oracle databases, one sorry. So the presently Oracle databases saves the data in row wise, whereas the HANA database saves the data in columnar based. What is the advantages of saving it in a columnar based in HANA database? See, we were not bothering as a functional consultant whether data saves in row based or columnar based when we are using ECC. As HANA says, the data will be saved it in columnar based. For our just understanding purpose, we are going to understand with this slide how row based data alignment and how columnar based data alignment will going to happen. Say you have a data where you have ID, name, country and city. This is a data. When you insert in Oracle database, it places in row based. Row based means the row wise, the data will get aligned in the database. This we cannot see it in database because it is completely a database architecture. Okay. So the first row, one, Smith, Australia, Sydney is getting aligned, and then the second row is getting aligned, and the third row is getting aligned. Okay. There is row by row, the data is get aligned in the row based. In the columnar based, the first column ID is get aligned. That means you can see in the columnar base 1, 2, 3 is getting aligned, the name is getting aligned, the country is getting aligned, and the city is getting aligned. That means column by column the data is getting aligned in the database, which is columnar based. When you do the query, for example in the row based, I wanted to see the people in city Sydney. When you have a millions of records, it goes to every row and check whether that particular record belongs to Sydney or not. If yes, it will show, otherwise it go for next record when we do the query, which consumes a lot of time when we have a millions of record. Whereas a columnar based data, when we query up on the column city, it columns on only on the query city column, which get you the data faster than the row based, where some syntax would be got changed for the ABAP consultant to query upon the columns. Other than that, the performance will be faster when we query upon the column saved data than the row based saved data. That is what HANA database saves data in columnar. Any doubt in this before I explain next point?
This is fine.
Clear? Okay. Now, when you move from Oracle database to HANA database, row-based data will go and place in a columnar database. As it go and place it in a columnar database, the data compression will happen. The data compression will happen when you move data from row-based to columnar-based. The data compression will going to happen. So which will reduces your database size in the HANA database when you migrate data from Oracle database to columnar database.
Naveen, can you just say the last part, what you told? The last sentence I missed.
what I was telling is the data in Oracle database saves in a row based. When you migrate, when you do a database migration, the first activity you are going to do is a database migration to HANA. When you move a database migration to HANA, the existing data from Oracle, when it go to HANA database, it will save the data in the columnar base. As it save the data in
That's perfect.
columnar base, data compression will happen in columnar database, which reduces your database size. That is an advantage of going from Oracle to HANA database at the first level. Clear? So now the deployment part. See, HANA presently when we are using ECC, it is all on. We were in on premises. Going to HANA, you can use it in on premises as well as in a cloud, or you can go for an hybrid. Hybrid is combination of on premises and cloud, where you have a remote locations where you will be putting it in on premises and then you move it on a cloud. That is hybrid approach. So to go to on premises, to go to on cloud, you should be in HANA database. That is first prerequisite. And in cloud, we have two things. One is a private cloud and the other is public cloud. Private cloud is specifically dedicated for you, the spaces on the cloud side, whoever providing the cloud services. The second is on cloud. In the on cloud, you will have, as I said, public cloud and private. Private is specifically dedicated for you. Public cloud is where a space is given. In that space, many of the customers would be using that spaces, and there will be authorization restrictions. You don't need to worry on the data safety, but whatever SAP is releasing, the version releases of cloud will be released directly to public. They will not ask, like for example, the current year 1803 or 1805, whichever is going to come. Okay, now 1803 which is going to come, it will directly put it in the cloud of public. It will not ask whether customer you do require or don't require. If you require, you adopt those changes, otherwise leave it. Whereas if you have a private cloud, you have to take a separate licensing fee and you have to take it. The public cloud is whenever SAP come up with the new releases, it directly releases on the public cloud because it is a public space. SAP directly releases the applications on that. Whoever customers need it, they will use those functionalities. Otherwise, it will be in the cloud. You will be in that releases. Is it clear for you? In the cloud, you will have two things: a private cloud and a public cloud. In the private cloud, when there is an update, you have to go to SAP, pay licensing fee, and take it. Public cloud is a common cloud where it will releases as and when the releases came by SAP, directly releases in the space where your updation will happen. But if you wanted to adopt that, you have to do that changes and get it adopted, those functionalities. Whereas in on premises, you have to go take the licensing fee because it is your environment and you have to do it. Clear? So in the hybrid, it is a combination of on premises and cloud.
Naveen, regarding this public and private cloud, both still this hardware infrastructure, everything is maintained by SAP itself, right?
Which one? On cloud?
Yeah, I mean to say the public, whether it's a public cloud or a private cloud, the infrastructure, hardware, everything is still maintained by SAP itself, right?
No, I see. Cloud is again you have Amazon and other vendors also from whom you take. Depends on that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. It's not with the SAP then completely. Okay. I was thinking when cloud it is something which is completely taken care by SAP, so we shouldn't be
With the
we
Amazon
shouldn't be
services,
thinking
there
about.
are many people who give services for you on the cloud part.
Okay.
Because SAP cannot maintain every customers, right? So it has been given as a product. Like many people would be making that as a business, like Amazon and other people, and be using it.
But SAP also has it, right?
SAP will also, but SAP will not directly sell. We will not do all those kind of services. According to me, if it is very privileged customers and all, they will give it and maintain it. Okay. So other than that, public and all, SAP will not maintain much because they have their partners. The partners will maintain basically all those.
Okay.
So how your database footprint reduction will happen when you go to HANA database. So traditional database which is having 593 GB data will get reduced to 118.6 GB of data because a data compression happened. I said from columnar database, when you move data to row based, a compression of data will happen which reduces your database size to 118.6 GB of data. Then later when you use a Simple Finance add-on, okay, it will remove the indices table and it create an AC Docker table. Okay, as it removes the indices and total table, still your reduction of data will happen to 42.4 GB of data. Once you are in Simple Finance application like S4HANA application, we have a concept called a data aging. Data aging is, here we make a cold storage and a hard storage part. Okay, that means in main memory SAP keeps the data of whatever you say. That means 5-year data which you keep using daily for your reporting. If you say 5-year data or 3-year data or 4-year data, that will be in the main memory. The rest of the data will move to cold storage, where any query running will run on main memory part. The rest data will save it in cold storage. Instead of doing a complete archiving project, data aging concept also makes your application faster, like 3-year data, 4-year data, what you frequently access, you can keep that as a data aging part in the main memory. So that is a concept given with S4HANA to use data aging. We can use that. That will reduce your database still to 8.4 GB.
So can we correlate this with archiving of data?
The archiving is completely removing of data from the table. Okay, archiving, you are completely removing the data from the table. Here you are not removing any data from the table. Okay, here in database there is a partition they make like hot storage and a cold storage, like in memory, because HANA is in memory platform. HANA holds the data in memory platform. So whatever data is you frequently access, it will be placed it in memory, like 5-year data. The rest will be in the cold storage part. Everything is available in table only in case of data aging. In case of archiving, you are removing from the table and putting it in a separate folder.
Okay, that means in AC Docker table we can have the cold storage data as well as the in-memory data, right?
Yes. It is purely technical activity. In the table you will have that way, the bifurcation will be there.
Okay.
Any doubt in this? Okay, fine. Now, when you go to HANA, okay, so either you may be in ECC 6.0 with classic GL or you may be in new GL. Going to HANA, okay, you can use HANA, either from classic GL you can directly go to HANA, or from new GL you can directly go to HANA, or from classic GL upgrading it to new GL and then go to HANA. The best approach is go from classic GL to HANA directly. When you go to HANA, using of the new GL concept, that is a ledger reporting, leading ledger, is mandatory, because in new GL usage of leading ledger is mandatory. So classic GL if you are in, when you migrate to HANA, you will be migrating a data to a leading ledger. Okay, this migration to HANA can be done at any period end. If you have already worked with classic to new GL migration project, SAP recommend to do that migration only at year end. Okay, as soon as you do year end closing, we plan to do a new GL migration in the production environment by January 2nd or 3rd week. Because there SAP introduced 2 tables called Faggle Flexa and Faggle FlexT. Faggle FlexT from GLT0 it carry forward the balances as of the year end. Faggle Flexa will have line item data. That means if I do it by January 3rd week, January 1st, 2nd and 3rd week data will get migrated to Faggle Flexa table, which is easy. So SAP recommend to do at the year end. If I do mid of the year, from January to till mid of the year, I have to migrate all line item to Faggle Flexa, where the tool was not supporting, the migration cockpit tool was not supporting much, and it will have performance issues. With S4HANA, in S4HANA concept is complete data migration. That means complete line item data. If you have a 10-year data, all 10-year line item data has to get migrated to AC Docker, because AC Docker is a complete line item table. As all 10-year data has to migrate with individual line item wise, either you migrate this month end or next month end, there will be just a small increase of data. Other than that, we don't have any other issues. So that is the reason migrating to HANA, that means a data migration to HANA, a functional consultant project. I'm not talking of a database migration. Assume that we have done database migration where we are trying to implement S4 HANA finance application. That migration can be done at any period end, at any month end closing, we can do that. Any doubt in this?
Yeah, I think you need to explain a bit again which migration we can do month end, simple finance migration we can do each month.
Yes, any month end you can do it.
So all finance related data where we do actually in general also the month end closing we can do month end migration as well.
In any of the month end, as you close the month end, you can do a migration of data to AC Docker table. That means that project also you can do it in the month end and migrate to AC Docker. Your data can be migrated to AC Docker as soon as you close your period end activities in your production environment.
Okay, and for the year end, that is only when we are on the year?
From classic to new GL. If you wanted to migrate from classic to new GL in ECC, classic to new GL migration, SAP was recommending to do only at the year end, not at the mid of the years. Okay, so that was happening only at the year end.
Okay.
Clear? Anyhow, we will be going to discuss in detail this when we start the migration topic. Say now, if you are in a different releases of, like if you want to go for S4 HANA, okay. So how S4 HANA brings advantages for your business, okay. As a business or as a consultant, you wanted to recommend for the business to go for S4 HANA. SAP has given a tool called Business Scenario Recommendation Tool. This tool, you can use it so that you will get to know what advantages of using HANA for your existing business. You have to go to ST03N transaction, and in that transaction you have to download the recent month software usage report. I mean now February month, I will download a January month report and go to s4hana.com site, support.sap.com site, where you have a link for business scenario recommendation. If you download this report from your SAP production environment and load it in that site, SAP will return back to you in 5 to 6 business working days how HANA brings advantages for your business. This is for free of cost. SAP gives you the recommendation. You can use this recommendation for your initial presentations or for your client presentations. You can use this report to understand how HANA brings advantages for your business. This is a kind of software usage report. This is a business scenario recommendation screen where you enter and upload the report and then you do it. Fine. Now, coming to the part of ledger, this is the first functional upgrade or functional changes which SAP has been brought. So going forward, S4 HANA, we will be going to use a leading ledger as well as a non-leading ledger as it is. Along with that, SAP has given a new ledger called Appendix Ledger, also called as an extension ledger. Appendix Ledger name was given in 1503 and 1511 onwards, the name has been changed to extension ledger. In the extension ledger, we have two things. One is extension ledger, the another is simulation extension ledger. Say, what is this extension ledger? As I said, if you go and use ECC New GL or S4 HANA, implementing a leading ledger is mandatory. based on your reporting, you link that reporting to leading ledger. If you wanted to do parallel reporting, we will be using the non-leading ledger. Okay, if you have more parallel reporting, we keep implementing more non-leading ledgers in ECC 6.0. With introduction of extension ledger, it reduces the number of non-leading ledgers. I will not say replace. I will say it will reduce the number of non-leading ledger implementation. Say how it will going to work. Implementing a non-leading ledger, always you have to do a separate project which consumes 3 to 4 months of time. For example, I report in IFRS and local GAAP. Tomorrow I wanted to do another GAAP reporting. I will say go and implement non-leading ledger in ECC, which consumes me 3 to 4 months of time with extra project effort to implement another non-leading ledger. With extension ledger, that avoid to go for another non-leading ledger if we use the same physical year variant and the same currencies as a leading or a non-leading ledger. That means I wanted to do one local reporting which uses the same physical year variant and currency either used by a leading or a non-leading ledger. Then I will go and create an extension ledger that can be created at any point of time in a month. That means I create an extension ledger and then I will give the base ledger for it. For example, I have a leading ledger 0L and I have a non-leading ledger AA. 0L uses V3 as financial year and non-leading ledger uses K4 as a financial year. I got a new requirement where I have to do for my local taxations, where I wanted to report this also in K4. Okay, new ledger requirement came where they say we also report in K4 only. Okay. Then now instead of implementing another non-leading ledger, at any point of time I can go and create an extension ledger. I'll create it as BB as an extension ledger. For this, I have to give a base ledger. We call it as underlying ledger as AA. That means when I do report of BB, it will pull the data posted to AA, all the data posted to AA, plus we do ledger specific posting in FB, 50L and all, right? There, whatever adjustment required for BB taxation purpose, I'll post it. So that is also will get posted. So if FB50L will have the data which contains the transaction posted to AA and transaction posted to specifically posted to BB. That means BB ledger reporting will pull the data from AA plus transaction posted specifically to BB. This is your reporting. Any doubt in this?
Naveen, if we are not having this K4, we have used it, right? And if that is not the case,
if, for example, if K4 is not there, for example, if the report came to V3 to use, I wanted to use V3, then instead of connecting to AA, I'll connect it to 0L. Okay. If requirement
so
comes
that is
for V6, okay, V6, which is not there in here either of the both, then I have to go for non-leading ledger only because I don't have any base ledgers.
Okay. So that is the catch is there. Okay.
Currencies and physical year variant. This ledger BB will derive the physical year variant plus currencies from the base ledger which you are going to assign it to it. When you do a configuration, you give the ledger, you give the base ledger also mandatorily. That is what the extension ledger concept is. If I come back to my slide, you can see here the record. See, C is a base ledger which is maybe a leading or a non-leading ledger. A and B are appendix ledgers. Okay, so you have posted transaction record 1 in A, record 2, 3 in B ledger, in ledger C, record 4, 5, 6. Okay, base ledger C is connected to A and B both. Okay, when I create a ledger, I given a base ledger as C. When I created a B ledger, I created a base ledger as C, as I have told it in my Word document. Okay. If I do report of A, what is posted to A? Record 1 specifically, and then record 4, 5, 6. That is what you are seeing in record 1, 4, 5, 6. When you do B, okay, you will have record 2, 3 plus record 4, 5, 6. Okay. When you have C, you will have record 4, 5, 6 only, because this is only get impacted when you post base ledger C. Clear? When you post appendix ledger B, it impact only B, but it will pull the data of C plus B. Getting? When you do normal transaction of FB50, it updates your. So in FB50, if you do any transaction posting, it update your leading and non-leading, which is a commonly posting. It will not going to insert data to appendix ledger. This will avoid your database footprint also. See, simply creating a non-leading ledger, keep increasing the data lines in your tables, implementing more non-leading ledger, again the project cost, all this will be avoided. Other than this, sometimes management wanted to do some reporting by moving the entries or values from one account head to another account head and see the reporting of MIS. So for that, now we don't need to disturb my base ledgers. I can just create one appendix ledger, do all that entry in appendix ledger, see the report. If you are like, continue appendix ledger, or you can leave that appendix ledger as it is. Clear? Javed, Mohit, Mukta, Rati, Salim, Chandan, Ahmad. Any doubt in this appendix ledger? This is the first functional FICO changes which we are talking. We are going to create the appendix ledger or extension ledger. We call the same name in the system. We are going to post a transaction. We are going to see the report, how it will going to work. So before we are doing that, we are understanding the theoretical concept of extension ledger. In the extension ledger, two types: extension ledger, simulation extension ledger. I'm just talking now only on the extension ledger. I'm not talking of what is the simulation extension ledger. I'll come to that later.
Okay, so Naveen, here in the HANA, we will be having leading and non-leading ledger as it is, and we need to create appendix ledgers or the extension ledgers.
We need, if required. We say, I will not say, okay. When you have a new ledger requirement, I can use the concept of extension ledger to use it. Instead of implementing a number of non-leading ledger, I can use an extension ledger concept and use that extension ledger concept.
Okay. This is as and when required, based on the reporting requirement.
Yes.
So as far how I could understand that in leading ledger, like usually when we do posting, it goes to non-leading ledgers also, right? Suppose there are 3 non-leading ledgers. There would be like 1 in leading and 3 in 3 document will be posted in non-leading ledgers separately, right?
That is,
if it is extension ledger.
That is what I said. The FB50, if you do it, update your leading and non-leading both. Okay. But it will not update your extension ledger. But it will pull the data.
Suppose, suppose, there is one extension ledger and it is like base ledger is a leading ledger, right? So in this case, what will happen?
It will get the data from leading ledger, entire data, whatever posted in leading ledger. If you post any specifically by using FB50L, if I posted any transaction specific to BB ledger, it will bring that BB ledger entry plus whatever data posted to 0L.
Again, it's not clear. So
see, when I do BB reporting, if I do BB reporting, it is connected to base ledger 0L. Whatever you posted to a leading ledger, it will get, because it is a base ledger. Okay. And plus what you specifically posted to BB by using FB50L, because ledger specific entry can be done only in FB50L, right? So whatever I posted to BB, that plus 0L, both it will bring. That is what we were talking in this slide also. See here, when I do record AA, report appendix ledger, what you posted record 1 plus 4, 5, 6, which is posted to C. It will come in your A report. In your B report, record 2, 3 plus 4, 5, 6. In your record C, it will bring only 4, 5, 6 because it is your leading ledger or a non-leading ledger, which only posted entries comes.
So it's similar to non-leading ledger, right? In non-leading ledger also it happens.
How it will be similar to non-leading ledger? It is a ledger, it connected to a leading ledger or it may connected to a non-leading ledger both. It will get the data,
Okay.
whatever posted to a base ledger plus what specifically you post to an appendix ledger.
Okay, got it.
Naveen, just can you go back to that Word document which you were saying, right? So right now, example, we have this OL as this is OL as leading ledger, then EA has not leading ledger, then BB is again the base ledger or whatever you say, the
BB
extension
is an
ledger.
appendix
Okay.
ledger. A base ledger is 0.
Yeah, appendix ledger. So what I want to understand is if I'm going to do any posting to this one BB, that is the appendix ledger, it will show the posting of an appendix ledger also, and it will show the posting of base ledger also, correct?
When you do the report of BB, BB posting can be done only in FB50L, where you give specifically BB and post it.
Yeah, that is correct. But what I'm saying is, when I go to the diagram example, what you're showing here, it will show the entries of both the ledgers you're saying.
Yes, exactly. It will pull the data because it is connected as a base ledger. In tables, there will not be any entry. In table, there will not be any entry. It will pull the data of 0L when it does a report.
So confirming it, when we are posting for the leading ledger 0L, it shows only the 0L part of it. Then coming to non-leading and AA, it is going to show that. But in the case of extension ledger or appendix ledger BB, it will take the entries, it will show the data even of the base ledger also. Correct, right?
Base ledger plus what you post specifically to that. Both.
Yeah, what you post, yeah. Okay, now it's
if I do any local reporting, that adjustment entries I'll put only to BB. The rest it will pull from 0L, what you have already posted.
Okay. Thanks, Naveen.
So I'll say I think I have few people email IDs only. Okay, so I'll put these videos in the drive, in the Google Drive. You can go through it, and we'll catch up on next Saturday 9 a.m. sharp. So as I said earlier, the sessions will be on Saturday, Sunday because few people have not joined at the early. Saturday at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Sunday 9:30 to 11:30. Ahmad, for you, I'll be sending you in US timing.
Naveen, Sunday I was saying like if it will be 10, that will be better. That was
for US people, it will be difficult.
Yeah, that I'm also supposed to say, Naveen, because by 9:30 I have to send my kids to school, their classes. So by 10 only I'll be comfortable to join. Both